narrate his trip to Ohio, and we're very excited about it.
We were born and raised in Zanesville, Ohio, and we were married at Central Presbyterian Church, which is a photo you're on the screen at the moment. This church was established a long time ago, but unfortunately, over the period of time in Zanesville, its population moved away, and the church is at this time for sale, which makes us all very sad. This is another view of the church. And the minister in the right-hand side of the slide 4 is a minister that married Sue and I.
All right. Which one is it?
That's the Sowers on the upper right.
Right there.
There. He's the minister that married us. He gave us great premarital advice and was a wonderful individual. There's a church of the sanctuary with our children. And this is another view from the outside and the unfortunate for sale sign. This is the courthouse at the Zanesville. That was the second capital of Ohio. And the courthouse has been kept in immaculate condition with memorials from the wars surrounding it. That's a memorial from the Korean War with the helmets in the background. That's the bank where Sue worked in Zanesville, and after senior year and a couple of years after she graduated, and she was in the trust department. Another view of the courthouse in Corpus Christi. That's the memorial for the which one is it? Veterans of all the wars, dedicated to men and women wounded in all our wars. Another view of the state. Second capital of Ohio. The first capital was Chillicothe. The second capital was Zanesville, and therefore after that moved to Columbus. This is a Korean War memorial with the helmets.
And Dad, did you help out the Korean War? You a part of that thing?
No, I wasn't part of the Korean War, but I processed the Korean War veterans as they left the service when I was in my service at Fort Hood, Texas, 1963 to 65. The Korean veterans were leaving the war, and I processed them out. The next view of Emily Florist was a prominent florist, that still is, and has been for a long period of time in Zanesville, Ohio. The Williams Bakery was prominent, and many of my wife's friends worked at the Williams Bakery.
Dad, you worked in a bakery too.
I worked in a bakery too. It was a competitor of theirs, but out in the suburbs it was called Perrine's Bakery, and I had a job there for 4 years as the only employee besides the mom and pop, and so I learned many of my baking skills.
When did you get up in the morning?
We got up on Saturday mornings. We got up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to get in there because the bread in the bakery and half of the profits came on the weekends. So the weekends were a big push, and so I and the others at the bakery were up very early.
So Dad, tell me about your tell me about your time at the bakery.
Oh, the bakery is a great experience because we got up early in the morning on Saturdays. The Saturday is a big day that produced half of his income, and we learned how to do everything. They bake cookies, cakes, donuts, and I learned how to do it all, as well as the cleanup, which was what I was basically assigned to do. Keep the place clean, tidy, and it was a great experience. Nice people, and a great experience in the American tradition of entrepreneurial.
Do you ever bake now?
I still bake to this day. I've baked all the time since then.
Anything you learned about writing on glass surfaces?
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you asked that question. The front door of the bakery was glass, and I learned to stay inside during the cold weather, right left-handed and backwards to announce the sales and the prices and the specials that the bakery had to offer.
Yeah.
So I, like Leonardo da Vinci, wrote backwards.
That's awesome. All right, ice cream bowl.
Tom's Ice Cream Bowl. What a wonderful experience that was. We recently went back there and ate. Tom's has been an institution in the Zanesville community since our youth. And some of the best ice cream sundaes, chocolates, nuts, and sandwiches. It has exactly not changed since we were there. The menus remain the same. The ambiance and the camaraderie is all the same. As you can see, it's a 50s style with all the seasonals. And as far as I can tell, the menu hasn't changed very much either. This was the Linda Arena. That was a roller skating arena. Sue and I both learned to skate and socialize and learned how to relate to the opposite sex as we skated
together. Did y'all skate together? Did you and Mom skate together in Linda Arena at some point?
I have skated with your mother in the Linda Arena, yes.
Wow, look at that.
This is the house that Mother lived in Zanesville. Yeah, that's the street that we both my parents and Sue's parents lived there, although she did not live on this street. It's Myrtle Avenue, and these are views down the street. That's across the street from the house that her parents and her brother lived in Zanesville. That's the house that actually her brother and parents lived.
So her brother and parents. So to explain, Mom's, she was the oldest.
She was the oldest, and the second was 8 years younger. Her brother was 22 years her junior, and it was her brother who actually was in this house.
Okay.
Now that house with the red shutters is the house that I lived in from about the 4th grade till I graduated from high school.
Okay. Awesome. And tell me about Grandma and Grandpa.
Grandma and Grandpa, they bought that house for about $7,000 as near as I can remember and seeing from the records, which is unreal in this day and age.
Yeah. And they lived there. What did Grandpa do?
Grandpa was sold life insurance for the Prudential Life Insurance Company. I had one brother who's 5 years my junior. And Mother was a housewife until my father died. Shortly after my sophomore year or my freshman year in college, and then she went to work as a dental assistant. That's the lady that lived across from my wife's family, Mrs. Ball. Another view of the house where we live in the neighborhood. These are medals from my wife's maternal uncle.
Uncle George.
No, my maternal aunt's husband, Uncle George. And these were medals he got in the Second World War.
And he has a purple
These
heart.
are the relatives.
Spencer's, that's Grandma.
Grandma
You got
Spencer.
it because I can't see the pointing. In the white is
Yeah.
Grandma.
In the center of the field behind the gentleman with the beard
That's her dad.
Grandma Spencer.
Grandma Spencer.
But she married.
Anybody else? Do you know any of these other people?
Who are these other folks, Mom?
Well, these are her mother and dad.
The Grandma Spencer's mother and dad are the two older people in the front row on the right hand side. Yeah. The bearded gentleman and the lady to his right, to his left. Another picture of the same. Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, those are.
That's the same picture.
That's not.
It's Kay, Awesome Aunt Kay.
No, this is Awesome Aunt Kay, Sue's oldest living aunt, only living aunt actually, that hosted us there in her home, and the grandchildren thought she was absolutely awesome.
Went up to the